starting from closest to me is Matthew Morrison, who, of course, is the songwriter. Matthew is a Broadway veteran of such shows as No, I have that moment where I go, oh my God, what if I, Hairspray, Light in the Piazza, South Pacific, and it's incredible to see Broadway veterans on TV. Of course, I believe that next to me is Leah Michelle, another Broadway veteran too. Leah made her debut at 8 in Les Miserables and has been on Broadway many times, including in Spring Awakening, which is a show I'm sure many of you have enjoyed. To Leah's left is Chris Colfer, who came pretty much straight out of high school in Clovis, California.
I'm just happy to be here.
He's been very active in his community theater and school drama club, and I'm very curious to find out about how he landed on this show. Of course, to Chris's left is Jane Lynch. Who, judging by the reaction to her during the show and now, really doesn't need an introduction, but you know her from so many Christopher Guest films and 40-Year-Old Virgins and Virgin and Role Models and the Lemony Snicket movie, and this summer she'll be in Julie and Julia, and we're thrilled to have you here today as well. Corey Monteith to her left has been on Kyle XY. He's been in Final Destination 3 and Deck the Halls, and this is his first regular series role. Ian Brennan, who you see there, is a former actor who wrote the original film script, which became this TV series, and we'll definitely talk about that. He's a co-creator and co-executive producer of GLEE. To his left is Brad Falchuk, who is also a co-creator and executive producer. He was a writer on Nip Tuck and co-wrote a pilot with Ryan Murphy, the other co-creator who's not here with us today. It was called Pretty Handsome, about a transgender person that didn't end up making it on FX, but is significant simply for its subject. And on the end is Dante Di Loretto, who is also an executive producer and president.
That's Ryan on the phone.
He's on the phone.
Well, tell him we all say hi. And Dante's executive producer and president of Ryan Murphy Television. He oversees the production, the choreography, the recording sessions, all of the filming. And thank you all so much for being here today. I guess I'll share this with you. And I'll start out talking about this as a musical, because of course it's incredibly unusual. I think not since Cop Rock have we had a musical, and clearly we haven't had a successful musical TV series, and it seems like that is the case here. So I'm curious, I think first and foremost, the challenge of casting a musical TV series. As you see here, this is an amazing cast of people who can act and sing and dance. And so I'm curious from you guys what that process was like.
Well, I mean, what we learned through the process was that there are many wonderful actors who sing, and there are many wonderful singers who act, but there are very few people that can really do both. And so the process was interesting in that we went to New York, we cast here, we cast online, we really cast almost anywhere. We kind of threw the net very wide and found all of these wonderful people, and the casting process was they had to come in and they had to act and they had to sing a song, which sort of made the process a lot more fun. But all the people here who came in and auditioned and sang, we pretty much knew we wanted them first. Once we saw them, we were pretty set. And then it was just sort of making sure we got them, but they were all really terrific. But it wasn't easy.
I'm sure it wasn't. Corey?
It was not easy at all. It was really, really difficult.
What was your process?
Well, at first I sent a tape from Canada, from Vancouver. And so I sent a tape of myself acting. And I conveniently left out the singing part. because I didn't feel it to be my strong suit. And then I heard back that they liked the tape, but they wanted me to sing. And so I was like, okay. And so I sent more stuff with me singing, which ended up with an audition with these guys down here in the room in LA, which I drove from Canada from, which was crazy. And I sang, what did I sing? I sang Billy Joel, Honesty, in the room for you
Yeah,
guys.
he did really well. And he was, and Finn, I was personally very worried about Finn because he needed to love the guy, and he's able to really sing. And so when Cord came in, the lovable part was definitely there, and then when we heard him sing, we were very relieved.
I like Brad.
Chris, of course, as I mentioned earlier, this is really your professional debut. So how
Yes,
did you even audition?
I went to the audition. That helped.
That's clearly my fault for asking a dumb question. How did you even find out about the audition?
Well, I had an agent that was kind of like a family friend of a friend, and would kind of send me on these pity auditions, like once a month, so they could get a Christmas card, one of those things. And this happened to be one of those, and I originally auditioned for the role of Artie, the club member in the wheelchair. And they didn't want me for that, but they liked me, so they created a new role for me to do.
Tell them how you got the name first.
Oh, thank you. In the first audition, Ryan Murphy looked at me and he said, "Why do I have a feeling you've been in The Sound of Music?"
That's a good Ryan Murphy impression.
Thank you. I do have On Trap written all over me. And I said, well, I was Kurt in The Sound of Music a long, long time ago when I was 14, and last week. And then the next thing I know, the next audition, when they gave me the new sides for the new character, and it was Kurt. So I kind of had an idea that I had something to do with the new character, but it wasn't until I got it that they spilled and let me know that it was for me.
So essentially, they wrote this role for you. Congratulations. Leah and Matthew, of course, coming from Broadway, was it a difficult decision to say, I want to leave theater for a time and commit to a television show?
Absolutely not. I was actually doing South Pacific at the time when I auditioned for this, and I've been looking to break into the TV world for a long time now. I've done a pilot for the last 5 years. None of them ever went. But I mean, if I could have written a role for myself, this would have been it. It's everything I do well, and which is everything. And, no, but it's. I mean, I'd love to say this is like such a big acting stretch for me, but it's me. I mean, I feel like it's me up there, and I just love it.
Yeah, and I just finished Spring Awakening, which was so fantastic, and sort of was always told that I didn't really quite have a good look for television, that I was too ethnic or whatever, and but then I heard about GLEE, and I'd met Ryan Murphy like a year prior, and I read about this character, and I was so in love with it, and just had to be a part of it. I'm so thankful that I am.
Jane, from what I understand, you were not going to be a series regular at first. What was the situation there?
I was committed to another pilot on ABC, and when this came along, it was for a series regular, and I said, well, I couldn't do it. They'd have to be in second position, and Fox would have none of that. So they made it a guest star, and so I was very happy to do it because I love Ryan. I've worked with him before, and I love the part. So I went into the pilot just as a guest star, and then by the time we got to series, a couple of episodes into the series, that deal fell apart, that other one, I was very happy it did. And because this is where I want to be, and I'm glad I'm here.